Hello, my name is Paul, and today we're going to be watching some footage from the Path of Exile beta that I've gotten. Path of Exile is an action RPG, quite Diablo-like, and is being made by an indie company in New Zealand called Grinding Gear Games. They're currently in a closed beta, but it's receiving random public invites, so you know, if you sign up to their website, which will be in the description, you have a chance to be invited randomly into the beta. So here we go, there's classes in this game, different classes. This is the first one, the Templar. He is basically the magey, sort of good, power of light, holy power and all that sort of thing. He's got a big staff. Now we've got the Witch, who's basically the opposite end of that. She's basically dark power mage, ranged mage, and yeah, she uses wands, I guess. And now we have the Duelist, who is, I guess, the rogue. He looks like quite a fast rogue, light armor, sort of daggers, really short swords, and I believe he can use longbows as well. Now we have the Ranger, who's pretty self-explanatory. She's the bow wielding, range dealing damage. It's been done before everywhere, so you should know what it is. But if you don't, they shoot from far away, and I don't know if they have pets or anything. Doesn't look like there's one. And he's the big tanky guy, the Marauder. This guy's basically a warrior. He looks like he probably dual wields and takes a lot of damage and just deals it to everyone. So, we're going to be watching the first maybe half an hour, just cut up into different segments, and it'll basically show you the starting zone, and not many of the key combat mechanics are involved, because it's obviously the starting area. If you'd like to see that, if you'd like to see more, just leave a comment and I'll play through to a higher level and show you guys more in-depth stuff. But here we're just showing basically what the game looks like, you know, sort of the setup, how it is, and different classes and all that sort of thing. So we wake up on a beach, and I can talk to this dying exile. He's got the big classic exclamation point above his head, and this guy's basically just like me. So we've wrecked off a ship, and he's saying that he's got something sticking out of his chest, like a splinter or something, like a big piece of wood, and that zombie drowned just kills him there. So I get my fighting skills out and beat him down. And this is where you start. You're on a beach. Everything sort of looks like it's got a very distinct art style. It's sort of like a wet sort of clay. It's hard to describe, but yeah, you'll see it in different areas. It carries on that similar style, which I actually like. It's more realistic than some other action RPGs, like Torchlight came out. I can't think of any others. There's lots of action RPGs that have a more cartoony style, but I prefer a more realistic and dark sort of setting. And this is actually, as I mentioned before, this is by an indie company. I'm not too sure how many people there are there, but they do consider themselves an indie company, so there shouldn't be too many people there working on it. And for an indie company, this is a very, very good looking title. Normally with indies, you know, you've got games like Minecraft and things like that, which obviously was never meant to be a graphically stunning game or anything like that. But generally, indie games tend to be on the, you know, the 2D sprite based, really easy to do graphics. Whereas here they've gone, you know, basically this could come out, well, maybe not a AAA title game now, but maybe a couple of years ago it could have come out as a AAA title. And depending on how, obviously, because this is online, this is actually the first boss you get to, a big Hillock, or he's called Hillock, I guess he's not a Hillock. So he's just basically the big zombie sort of dead guy. And yeah, I've got a bow right now actually, which is kind of strange because I'm actually a witch, and so there is sort of a hybridization where you can wield another class's weapons and such. Because I hadn't found a wand yet, so which is obviously the wand is what the witch uses. And right here we have the selling system. I'm just putting up in this little box here down the bottom on the left there. Any items that I don't need, and you can see up the top left there, in the Nessa offers window, you don't use gold, you use scrolls, and I'm pretty sure you only use scrolls of wisdom, but I think there are other sort of items of currency. So it's basically like, you know, you could use this for identifying a mysterious item or something, so because if you don't identify it you can't wear it or anything, and generally they're the more powerful items. So you can use them either for buying new items or identifying, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things like maybe enchantments and potions and all that sort of thing. And you also get in the inventory, I can't remember what it's called, I think it's it's some other different shard, so that's when I sold an unidentified item and you get a different sort of shard. And here we have the incredibly large talent web, I guess. It's not a tree at all, it is huge. There is a lot of customization here. Everything adds a different style because, you know, like, obviously I've got intelligence there, which would be the magic based stat, and then you've got strength there, that branches off into the strength, and then you've got dexterity, which would be for the bow and the, I guess, the dagger wielding person. And also the interesting thing within this, even though it seems like you're choosing a path, you can roll a witch and take her down, I don't know, dexterity with bows, and then just quickly switch out to, you know, your wand, if you wanted to. Like, so there's room for hybridization, which is always good. And here we have the map, the little overlay map, which is basically the Diablo sort of map. It's very easy to look at, and then just continue battling monsters without even turning it off. It just stays in the background there. And there we go. I just got a gem, a skill gem off of a quest that I completed, and that has I believe it's a freezing wave effect, which I should use soon here. Just opening a chest, opening a crate, trying to find some loot, and then one of these guys comes running, and there's my ice wave cooling. It's not cooling, it's freezing. So there's a chance on hit to slow or totally freeze the enemy, and it basically just shoots out in a cone slash wave. I'm not sure if it deals damage behind the first target, or if it just hits the first target and then doesn't continue. I'm not too sure. So here we go. I run into a very big pack. These zombies slash these little, I don't know what you call them, sort of like a little spider, scorpion that shoot little things at ya. And I've made a mistake here. I don't know if it was a mistake because I'm not sure. I can't remember if I actually found any wands. But obviously the witch is supposed to be primarily a wand user for her weapons, so that she can deal like just a normal range spell instead of having a big staff that has to hit it melee. And back in the skill tree here, I'm just putting something into, I believe, spell damage I start to go for. So you've got intelligence for more mana, you've got mana regen, and then of course on the other end you would have health regen and all that sort of thing for your other class types. And here this level has a lot. I mean, well, this actually that's the interesting note. This game is the areas are totally randomly generated, which means basically you can, if you wanted to roll a whole bunch of different characters to try out each class, you probably won't get as sick as, say, any other game that just has a single scripted linear level. That's the only one level. Whereas this, I could come in here and I would totally not recognize the layout and where I have to go. So that's pretty cool. I like RPG action games that do that. I know Torchlight did that. And here I actually encounter another boss, who's a lot more difficult than the first one, who is a mage casting raining fireballs of death at me, which is quite unpleasant. But I eventually will kill it or her or him. I'm not too sure. It's a Fire Fury. It does extra fire damage. You can see it's got that special border around its health bar. Indicates a much stronger boss type monster. So I've got down the bottom left there, you can see the little vials of potions. You've got your health and your mana. I'm not too sure how they regenerate over time, or because you'll see I just regenerated one of the health potions down the bottom there after I killed something. So maybe killing monsters gives you potion, so you don't have to buy it, which is interesting. So here I'm just AoEing down. You can see there it does, this wave effect does actually go through targets. And here is the next area that you go to. It's called Mud Flats, I believe, and there is a waypoint straight away. This waypoint is basically a portal, so I'm guessing on many of the areas you will have a portal, so you can go back to any towns to sell things. And so yeah, I just come back to town, come back to sell things and do whatever, pick up more quests maybe. And yeah, so this was a look at Path of Exile with the Witch class, and I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.